Hey, it's your girl Yona Marie, and today I want to give a few branding tips for my independent and unsigned artists out there. Yona Marie music, create with me. So if you're unfamiliar with what a brand is, basically it's the identity of yourself as a whole, as an artist, as a musician, as somebody that's talented, as somebody that's building a business around their talent. This is your brand. So you probably have an Instagram, a Facebook, a Twitter, a TikTok, and what you've been doing while you've been uploading and putting things on these profiles is building your brand presence. So I want to give a few tips for people out there that are trying to get their brand out there, trying to stand out, because the thing about building a music brand these days is that a lot of people are doing it. And what that means is that there's a lot of competition. It is super hard to stand out from everybody else that's making music, especially people that are in your genre, doing the same music that you do, the same style, and have the same audience in terms of the people that want to get their music out to. So what you need as an independent artist, what you need as a musician, whether you're a singer, a songwriter, a rapper, a band, it doesn't matter what type of music you're creating. What you definitely need to work on is your brand presence and work on how you can connect to your potential audience, the audience that you especially already have, and the audience that you'll continue to grow as you get bigger, as you get more songs out there, as you get more fans, more opportunities. Your brand needs to be strong. Your brand needs to be professional. Your brand needs to be very evident when people come across your music, when they come across your social media channels, when they come across your interviews, when they see your live shows. A lot of great, successful indie artists have made a way because they have a very distinct brand. And it might sound like a lot to do, it might sound like a big chore, but I want to give you a few tips that can help you figure out what your brand is, what you bring to the world, what you bring to the music world, and who you are in terms of your identity. So the first thing that you can definitely make known and put out there is your history. As an artist, as a musician, where you came from, where you grew up, what styles influenced you, what's your unique story, what brought you into the music world, who your inspirations are, who has inspired your sound, what life circumstances have inspired your sound. And I know that seems like a lot to bring to a brand, but a lot of great artists out there put their history into their everyday work. Let's say you were a starving artist that came from poverty, that came from a terrible childhood. You can put that into your identity so that people can relate to you, so that people can understand why you're so hungry for success. This type of connection with your history that people can make can really help you stand out among people who are just making music just because. Let's say you came from extreme sickness. Let's say you had a serious disease that you're working on. You put that into your music, you put that into your story, you put that into your journey. Next thing you know, people can relate to you. People feel like they know you because they know where you came from. They know why you do what you do. So if you can incorporate your history, especially if it's a unique history, a compelling story, make sure you put that out there. Make sure you make that obvious in some of your song releases, some of your visual works, some of your bio especially. Put that out there so it can really resonate with your fans. Another big part of brand is your image. What makes you you? What's your style visually? It can be about your fashion choices. It can be about something unique about your look. Maybe you have something going on. Maybe you're really short. Maybe you're really tall. Bring confidence and creativity to your image. What makes you unique? Because again, this can help you stand out. And this really plays a big part in music videos, album covers, CD covers, profile pictures on Instagram, other social media. Your image can really make you stand apart from everybody else, especially when it comes to your genre. Let's say, for example, you're making music in the genre of country, but maybe you don't want to look like every other country artist that has their guitar somewhere out in nature. Stand apart. You can really zone in on what makes your image unique in the country world. And today, in the digital media age, image can go a very, very long way when it comes especially to music discovery. When somebody, let's say, comes across your music on Spotify and they're looking for new songs to play, if you have cover art that stands out, grabs somebody's attention, it doesn't have to be like vulgar or crazy per se, but if you stand out and stay true to your style at the same time, you can really get your brand across even before somebody plays your music, which is a beautiful thing. Another thing that kind of goes along with visual is your name. Now, a lot of people don't put that much thought into their artist name, but I really recommend that people put a lot of love and especially research into their artist name. Again, because so many people are making music. For example, I used to go by the name Rachel Marie, but I went out and I saw there were people in several genres, including my genre of R&B, releasing music under the name Rachel Marie because it's a common name. But so what I had to do was go deep. I had to research a name that will resonate with me, resonate with my brand, and be unique at the same time. That way I can have the same name across social media, on my website, on Spotify, and etc. But it will be unique. It will be something that is very personal to me. So what I did is I changed my name to Yona Marie because I actually had a very intense connection with an anime character that I loved from Yona of the Dawn. I don't know, you might be familiar with it, but that name switch really set me apart, and it also adds to my backstory. Because Yona of the Dawn is a girl who came from being very spoiled, not really knowing how to navigate the outside world, being kind of shielded in her own bubble. And the story of Yona of the Dawn is about how she gets out of her shell, helps change the world, helps other individuals, despite coming from the little shelter box that she grew up in. And one more part of your brand that I really want people to focus on is how their music makes their fans feel. Now, this can play into your history, this can play into your relatability, your uniqueness that you definitely already need to have that I talked about before. But what type of effect does your brand bring to your audience? And a lot of times when it comes to the effect, it's really about bringing something out of yourself that is genuine, that is real, but can also be relatable to other people, especially the people that you want to target in your audience. So the big part about this is figuring out who you want your target audience to be. For example, Taylor Swift has a very obvious effect and relatability factor to her target audience. Like, Swifties love the way Taylor makes them feel. They really connect with her music. They get into a certain vibe, they get into a certain zone when they're at her concerts, when they're listening to her new releases. It's an effect that she has on people that even artists that are releasing music in her same genre don't have that effect because they don't have that same relationship with the audience. And because of that, they don't have the lasting impression that really gets people to go to every show, play every new song, buy every album, get every poster that she comes out with. It's about the effect that people are getting from her music. So when you're releasing songs, a lot of times it's a thin line between doing what you want to do, releasing the type of music that resonates with you, but also putting out music that can resonate with other people, putting out music that can change other people's lives. You have to find that balance, and once you do, really stick with it and really drive that effect home, because that'll play a big role in not only getting fans, but getting hardcore fans, getting those fans that are ride or die. No matter what you're doing, they're going to feel your effect, they're going to feel your brand, and they're going to stick with you because they feel like they have that relationship with you. So if you're putting out different music all the time, putting out different genres, trying new things, not really having a cohesive effect with your song releases, that may negatively affect your brand overall. So those are just a few things I want to have you thinking about as an independent artist, so that you can realize that there's a big connection between your brand and how an audience will interact with your music. Because branding in music is a huge deal. And it's something that you don't want to just skate by. It's something that you don't want to forget. It's something that really needs to be considered if you want to be a big success in the music industry.